first and gentlemen, with me, your host Lee Credit. Happy Doctor Who Podcast Day. It's, of course, a podcast day for Doctor Who, and we celebrate all Doctor Who podcasts. There'll be a lot more people taking part. A few things I want to say before I start off this episode. If you are new, then a huge warm welcome. I'm going to give you a quick intro to the show because I want to share what I do. This podcast is all about Doctor Who, Star Wars, and Active all along. I post regular episodes, mini-sodes, 5-minute reviews, and drum roll please. There we go! A new segment that I can now announce, which is Critics Judge Dramas. A segment that will be less than 10 minutes where I discuss what's been going on in the world of Doctor Who and of course my life, what instant opinions on the latest content, and so on and so on. This should start being released from next week, so stay tuned. Keep looking out on social media and of course YouTube community page, as I will be doing exclusives there. I've decided to change my original plans for this episode and yes, things with an old favourite character of mine. It's not my boy Ricker or my boys the Dins. Don't worry, camera fans. Their time will come. Lee has decided to revisit Jodie Whittaker's first season on Doctor Who, and I will get into this with gusto. But before that, I have reached 60 subscribers on YouTube, and the 5-minute reviews for Series 2 have been a major hit, so I want to thank all you subscribers and listeners for the views and subscribes. Let's get started. Let's get started with Jodie, as in this season she was brilliant and constantly good. I enjoy her as the Doctor, and she's the Doctor I relate to the most, and she made the most of it. Her first 2 episodes for me are my favourite opening episodes for a Doctor, alongside Shooter Girl was 15 and David Tennant's 10. 13 is an adventure, and I love that about her. I like that she's enthusiastic and she tries to repair a ship. She makes a sonic screwdriver, and that shows her style, and I believe each Doctor has a style, and this is fit in style. I love the obsession with roles, and I really enjoy that aspect, especially when she has to deal with Graham's potential recklessness, as I like that actions have consequences and shows who she is as a person. Finally, I love that she's full of hope as she wants to do things for others. As she says, when people need help, I never refuse. That line sticks out for me, and that's why I love her. And her enemies are totally wrong, as her friends are there for her. Whatever the idiot Tecton has said, Torsten Cole is a legend to me. I relate to his character, Ryan Sinclair, as we both have struggled, like I've spoken about KB and Clone Force 99. If you want to see those episodes, I'll put a link in the description down below. In a bit of a wrecker mood right now, Ryan's struggles are seen throughout the series, and he's a fire, which I like. And once again, Wrecking Ball Wrecker is the same. Ryan's story is sad, as he has lost his mum and grandma, and his dad has walked out on him, which is also apparent. What I love and take from this is he is a fire. His story of reluctance to accept Graham being his granddad, and I love that importance, as that shows his journey. And that's something that he has, is he helps making sense to people, and this isn't the only season he does it in, so this is why I love him. Like when he tries to stop Graham from doing something rash or running to get out of class, he admits that he is his granddad, and as to the growth of him trying to accept his granddad. Riley Walsh continues his streak of comedians being companions. He plays the legend that is Graham O'Brien, and he is playing a bit of a grump. I love a grump. 12. Ron Swanson. Graham's journey is like Ryan. It's sad, and they both have to deal with grief, and he's trying to convince Ryan to call him Granddad. I love it when he has to deal with idiots, and he's not afraid to call them out. Manny Gill is Jasmine Khan. Yaz isn't as developed as her competitors, but this is what I call slow burn, and she is a slow burn character. She starred in the entire era, the only plan to do so alongside Captain Tate with David in 2023. I feel after her era, I understand her role in the series and so much more, to be honest, as at the time I didn't get what they were doing, if I'm honest, but there is more to this. She wants more from her job. They did waste her there, and she deserves better than being a police officer. Never gave her a chance, but luckily her fortune changed in the future, so that does give her a satisfying conclusion to that. I love that she wants to help us, as we see with Willow Twist and Amber Truggy. She has that kind of stability that I love, like Michelle Angus Omega, who is a legend. She, like Omega, wants to make the world and the universe a better place. It was nice to see Yaz and her family. We had her mum and dad, Hakim and Naja, Sonia, her sister. If I'm honest, and it's going to be really in this episode, I feel Naja deserved better, but I did love her interrogating and I felt for her after being fairly sad. She's a Rob queen. Sean McGlady is a legend. Sharon Clark was an icon. Grace O'Brien is a character that, in my opinion, left too soon but made an impact in one appearance. Grace was a character who I believe deserved a chance on the task before succumbing to her injuries from the fall caused by defeating the Gavin Call. I love that she appeared as a ghost and added more to the grief Graham has been dealing with, and it works, especially in the mirror dimension in It Takes You Away when the soundtrack uses Grace to keep Graham in the mirror world. Second O'Connor made his debut this season, and he's a talented composer, and to come after Murray Gold and Slay in one season is brilliant. His scores are so good. 13 stream is joy and upbeat. Holly Bucara's vocals are out of this world, like Melanie Pappenham. This is wonderful work. They took on some real life topics. The ones that were flawed were the weakest episodes, like Rosa Erectus in the UK and The Witchminders. On the other hand, Demons of the Punjab had something unique, like Story and the Engine, which is still one of the highlights of 2025. It explored the petition which Lee here wasn't educated on, and I'm glad we got to see that. I still remember having the silent oh moment with the death of Prem. Still remember, and that's a testament to Vinay Patil's writing. Speaking about Rosa, it's not a personal hit for me, but there are some moments that I think stand out. And there's a scene where Ryan and Yaz speak about the racist abuse they've endured is super important, and I'm glad it was included as we get to hear people talk about it, giving the story more substance, and it allows you to feel for them. It's nice to finally see being dressed in the show. A quick shout out to Ryan scene with Rosa Parks and Martin Luther King. I think they're so important as well, especially with Rosa. Burnett Robinson did a great job as well as Rosa, so shout out to you, Burnett. Also, the guest stars in the series were really good. We had Susan Lynch, Susan Packer, Ellie Warwick, Mark Addy, and more. They were brilliant. It may have been divisive for Alan Cummins this season, but Lux changed his fortunes around, and once again, that was another 2025 hit. 6 tens in the season, despite one of them being divisive. That's a good start for our Whittaker Nature. The first 2 were the best of the season, and I will always defend the Sonora Conundrum and the Battle of Antico, of course. It's not the best finale, which I agree with, but as we've seen with stronger episodes recently, it delivers when a stronger episode falters, and that can happen even with stronghold eras like this one. Battle has some good character moments for all the leads, and that's what counts. There are 4 guest writers and 4 directors, including 2 women, Sally Vereen and Jennifer Perrett. Also had 2 female writers in Mallory Blackman and Joy Wilkinson. This is a good sign for Doctor Who. The sound show has not been prevalent in the season. Looking back now, it's more hot and now you know what happens, and that is why I prefer the slow burn style, and it works when there is something there. The Doctor doesn't know about the child. It references to the character's mind wipe in season 12 when she finds out about the timeless child. There was a mix of villains, and there were some good ones, some underperformed, and some annoying ones. Some annoying villains as well, but I love managed represent times in Demons of the Punjab. The Remnants, the Sensei, and Snapbots were great. The Bating was an icon like the meat, but I can't decide which is really at this time. My favourite aspect of the series has been family and grief. It's been like in a few years before this series, and that's down to Stephen Moffat's decisions, which is respectful. There was a mix of good and bad. Ryan Graham comes to terms with the loss of Grace after the Sheffield incident. Graham is trying to make an effort and start a conversation and getting Ryan to accept him as granddad. I love it as season are, and then it finishes in a fantastic moment between the men. Ryan accepting Graham as his granddad, and they team up to trap Team Shaw for the death of Grace, which is the perfect resolution. Itachi does a fantastic job addressing Graham's grief, and when the Starlight tricks him, it's fun to see what Graham would do to accept Grace was ruled in their mirror dimension. Speaking of the soundtrack, I love the use of a frog being used as lots of my fiction in the mirrors. I still believe it's a bonkers idea, but works good. Just obsessed with the frog with Grace's voice saying she missed it all, and the doctor's speech, it does touch me emotionally. Still think that scene is one of the most iconic weird scenes ever. I do want to do a review on this episode as it's good at what it does, but you'll have to wait for it. I love this whole thing of the doctor searching for the TARDIS after it vanished. She shows off her vetting skills on how to track it down, and the events of the ghost moment, which I love. I like the fact that she builds trust with Fam on Desolation as they try to find the TARDIS, and I like their quest for a moment where the team are left behind and the Doctor's friends give her hope. She ends up getting hope when the TARDIS starts to finally fit, and then it comes in front of her, Rio. She says, "My beautiful ghost moment." She talks to it. She's happy about the design after the whole regeneration fiasco. And It's something different on the show, and it goes back to the classics like Keystone Maris and Marco Polo. I'm not a fan of these episodes, but gives those vibes in a good way. I love that the Doctor warns the fam about the dangers when they join her property, as it's important not only to see the Doctor's positive influence, although the Doctor wants them to be safe after the events of the recent plans, and I like that duty of care that she's finally getting to take on. Finally, let's talk the Stenza and their terror. Tim Shaw is played by Samuel Oatley. He is an interesting villain. He attempts to take Carl right back as a trophy. He underestimates the Doctor, then makes another tag on ransom, of course, when he destroys more planets using Yux as they defy the Stenza as revenge, but once again is thought of because of his ignorance, and he was distracted at the time. His scene with Ryan and Graham is important as he goes Graham to attack him, and Graham takes him down and is instantly overpowered by Graham and Ryan, who were fitted by his crimes, as his Gavin Carl was responsible for killing Graham's wife, and I'm still not over it. His story ending satisfied me, and it's good to see him suffer for his actions. I want to add about Stenza's conquest of Desolation out in Alba, which we learn about in the Ghost Moment, set directly after the events of The Woman Who Fought Her. It brings Grief back to Graham, and it gives a bit of context on what Stenza did. I hope you enjoyed a look back at Series 11. I enjoyed the series. What did you think about Series 11? You can comment down below or at Fast22 on social media. I will leave you guys with a mystery. I have an unusual episode plan coming up, and it will combine all the franchises, so please look around on social media or my posts on the YouTube page and a sneak peek very soon. If you love this podcast, please recommend to someone who might love it too, and where they can find the First One Jarvis podcast. Also, please check out other Doctor Who podcasters on Doctor Who Podcast Day, as there are so many fantastic podcasts out there. Thank you for listening, and happy Doctor Who Podcast Day. I will see you in the next episode. Goodbye, everyone. Thank you for listening to the podcast. Subscribe to Fast One Jarvis and stay tuned for more